Good morning, EIA report here with the Propane Buzz vlog. Quick one before I sit down to actually write the blog. So vlog, video, blog is typing. 6.3 million barrel drawdown for the week ending. I think it's the January 5th. The EIA's reported today. It's the third largest weekly draw in recorded history. A year ago next week, we had, I think, a 7.4 million barrel draw, and then we also had a 6.8 million barrel draw in January of last year. So this is the third largest weekly draw in history. Exports bounced back to 1.034 million barrels per day this past week, up from the previous week's 534,000 barrels per day, so nearly doubling on exports. A far more believable number based upon what we've seen, but really not a correction from what the shortfall that everybody thought were in the numbers last week. Domestic demand jumped up to 1.892 million barrels from 1.691, so really what we care about, that's a 200,000 barrel per day increase. I actually think the demand numbers should have been higher than that. I'm surprised they weren't over 2 million barrels per day. But production was also off 100,000 barrels per day this last week. Now, I wrote something on Monday saying that today's inventory report was going to be a bit of a crossroads or a fork in the road where the markets took one direction or another. Of course, you can think you know so much and have a great deal of hubris, and that's what this seemed to be. I don't know if this was our definitive answer or what we were looking for. The markets really haven't reacted strongly one way or another as of yet, but I would say this. We're down to 61.7 million barrels of inventory through the reporting week of January the 5th. We didn't get down to this level of inventory last year until around February 1st. So we're a good 25 days less inventory on hand right now than we had a year ago, which inventories last year were ample. But you'll recall from the end of November of 2016 through the first few days of February 2017, propane prices jumped nearly 40 cents per gallon last year. So we're not out of the woods yet. I do think the more weeks pass like this, though, the extreme price volatility risks at the hub, at the trading hubs in Conway or Bellevue, those risks decrease. But there is some extreme volatility taking place off hub right now, certainly in the Ohio Valley, in Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York. You're talking about very large basis spikes where if you don't have fixed price and you don't have index and you're buying some product on spot markets, which there's not much spot market product out there. I mean, I'm having to go out and fight for 3 loads here, 5 loads there. You're paying some big numbers because there are a lot of people that want it, those who can find trucks. As I mentioned in November and predicted then, the trucking component was going to be the biggest challenge that we have this season. And at this point in time, trucking is a big time issue. It is, for some people, the biggest issue, where others, there are terminals being out of supply. There haven't been this many terminals struggling to keep up with demand and or out of supply and or on allocation since January of 2014. So back in October, when I was blogging about this year being a mini version of 2013, 2014, we're at that point. The pain isn't quite as bad because the duration of the cold hasn't been as long, but if we have this keep up for another week, east of the Mississippi River, we will approach 2013, 2014 pains. For some of you, you may be there already because it can't get any worse than running short on product and not being able to find trucking. And that's where we're at. I'll have more on the blog right up here coming shortly. Thanks for watching.